I'll try to call your names in order. Okay. How you guys want to do it. So, Coach, if you're okay, we'll do opening statements and turn it over to him.
Okay. Awesome.
Good evening and welcome back to the NCAA Women's Final Four National Championship Press Conference. Joining us on the stage are the UCLA Bruins. We'll do an opening statement from Coach and then we'll field questions to our student athletes. Just a reminder, we'll dismiss the student athletes. They'll go to the mix zone and then we'll begin fielding questions for Coach. So just ask that you hold any questions for Coach until her time.
Yeah, it's hard to even know what to say. First of all, thank you to all of you for partnering with us, for this amazing game. I remember my dad used to say, he knew I loved to compete. He goes, if you can take something that you love and continue to compete and impact people's hearts in the process, you found a good thing. And this has been a calling, not a job, and I just am I've been saying it all day, but I don't even know how else to say it. It's immeasurably more than I could ask or imagine. And so I just am really grateful, but it's not about me. It's about watching these incredible young women be dream chasers, to watch them grow in ways that they will remember and it will stick with them for the rest of their lives. And it's about their work and their habits yielding. And we say this, we want to recruit courageous. It gets me choked up. Because there's a lot of times where we wondered if it could be true. I said I wanted to find uncommon, courageous women that were willing to make uncommon choices that maybe possibly could yield an uncommon result. And today it did.
With that, we'll open up for questions for student athletes. If we could start in the back.
Hi, ladies. Congratulations on your first championship. This is Charlotte Moore, FI 360 News. Can you just talk about today, each of you, your drive, and also can each of you share something that you're going to take from Coach Close or that you're going to miss about her? Thank you.
Let's start with Kiki.
Yeah, today was just a fantastic display of our resilience and the intensity that we came out with, just our will to win. And we knew, we had a feeling like this was our time, this was our year. And, we came out there this entire weekend and just we would not be denied. And let's see, a moment that I'll take from Coach Corey. Probably just there in the locker room. She was dancing. She was doing some good moves. Yeah. But no, I just so grateful for all these 4 years and the incredible time and lessons from Coach Corey.
And Lauren?
Like he said, I think the confidence that we came out with, we just knew we were going to win because of all the prep and the work that we'd put in. And, I think when we find a way to play together and play selflessly and just do what we do, no one can stop us. And you guys saw that. And, man, I think I'm going to miss our bickering in practice. I'm going to miss that. I'm going to, no, but I think I'm going to miss, man, I think the way that she consistently believes in me and what I'm capable of, and to have someone who is able to push you while also just giving you so much confidence every single day, that's something really special, and I'm going to miss that a lot.
And Gabriella?
Yeah, they touched on it, obviously. Just I think our mentality coming out, we all just decided, and I think that's what made us so powerful this whole season. When we decided we wanted to do something, we did it. And I'm just so proud. And Coach Corey, I'm just super proud of her as well in the way that she responded as a leader from last year. I think we all responded really well. Obviously, we're here now, but I think it just really started with Coach Corey and the way that she wanted to, make a change in our program and get us back here and get this result. And I'll always be thankful for her and believing in me, and I just appreciate you.
Even if it was late?
Yeah, even if it was late, I'm here.
Jonathan, if you can raise your hand, we'll get the microphone to you.
Jonathan Tannenbaum of the Philadelphia Inquirer. A question first for Lauren. Either of the other players can answer it if they'd like to. We all see how much joy you all play with, how much joy you all work with, the dance routines and all things like that. And to deliver a game like that in what is, for any player, such a high-pressure moment, but keep the joy. What does it mean to you to keep the joy in such a big moment like this?
Yeah, I think that's why we're able to show up and do what we do all the time. You can still show up and do your job and be serious and compete, but this is like a long journey that we've been on together, and I think you can find the fun in all of it. And what an amazing way to finish off the season with a national championship, and knowing that like we did everything to get there basketball wise, and we also just enjoyed each other. And we're such a close group of girls, and I'm gonna miss them so much. I'm not even gonna get into that, but yeah, it's crazy.
Gabriella or Kiki, did either one of you want to answer?
Yeah. Yeah, I think just the joy we have and the love we have for each other has really motivated us this whole season, because we just want to do it for each other, and that just made us so special, I think, and that's why we've been so successful this whole season.
We'll go to our left, Howard.
Howard Megdal at the 9 Sports. Congratulations to all of you on this championship. Lauren, one for you. Kiki, Gabriella, one for you. Lauren, for you, Sienna comes in, plays these huge minutes in the first quarter, obviously a critical part of this. I'm just wondering what made her ready and how meaningful it is to share this with her.
Yeah, I think she understands the moment. This is a championship, and it's at this point, like, no one really cares, how many points you score, what you do. Like, she just wanted to go in and make an impact and just help, the team in any way that she could. So, for her to get, like, crucial rebounds and go up against really strong bigs, that's huge as a freshman. So, just really proud of her, and, I can't wait to continue to watch her for the next 3 years. She's going to do amazing things.
And Kiki and Gabriella, your teammate Gianna, as a plus 41 today, is putting together numbers all year. Can you just talk about what she has meant to this program, what it's meant to sort of have this journey with her where she joined you midstream?
Yeah, Gianna is such a selfless player, and she is a really freaking good basketball player. She helps us in so many ways, and right when she joined this team, we just know, like, she fit on the court but also off the court as well. And I think her transition has been so seamless because of how she's just been willing to, like, dive right into our culture of our program, add to it, help make us better, and really excited for the things that she's going to do, and I'm grateful for the 1 year that I got to play with her.
Yeah, to add, Gianna, being teammates with her has been so much fun. She's an ultimate competitor. She works so hard. And so you always have so much trust in a person like that, because they're going to be prepared. And like Kiki said, the way that she just fit into this group, like, so seamlessly, that just says a lot about who she is as a player, and I'm just super proud of her.
We'll take our next question. We'll go Cameron, and then right next to Cameron.
Cameron Sigurd, The Athletic. Lauren, for you, it seemed like early in that first half, you guys were okay with South Carolina's bigs taking shots. I think Medina took a couple threes. Joyce has mid-range shots. And I'm just curious, just your thoughts on how you guys executed that game plan, but also on how the guards did at pressuring South Carolina's guards so they couldn't get free and make easy lanes to the post.
No, I think it starts with that perimeter pressure, and our guards did a really good job of just making it difficult for them. And, I think once we, get stops, they're just not able to do what they want to do. I think, and that's, what we want to get in transition and able to score. But, I think our guards did a really good job of just, taking away the point guard's decision-making. And I think, for me, my job is to just protect the rim. So, whatever they told me to do today in the scout, whether it's guard them out there or just protect the paint, I was going to do what I got to do. So,
We're going to stay to the right and center.
Gabby, for you, 21 points. Gabriella, apologies. 21 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, your most points in an NCAA tournament game this year. What about you and your preparation allows you to thrive in the biggest moment?
For me, just going into the game, doing whatever the team needed, and for me, just really focusing on defense and rebounding. That was a big part of our scouting report. And so, I had open shots, and I made them. So I think that was just kind of what it was. And just super proud of this group and how we played as a team to get this victory.
We're going to stay to our right, center, Oliver.
Oliver Fell, Cronkite News. Congratulations. And I was wondering, you've said this is a special group bonded together. It's a lot of seniors and a lot of new incomers. How early did any of you know that or realize that this was the team?
Yeah, I think right from the beginning, right when we all got on campus, we knew that this group was going to be special. You could just feel the energy, and I think we've all been been a part of a lot of basketball teams, but I think you just know when you have that competitive DNA in you. And we got after it. We compete at a really high level, but we also love each other, and we play for each other. We play really hard, and that was just the culture that we created from day one, and the culture that everyone was so willing to buy into.
Gabriella?
Yeah, to add, I think since the roster was made, we just knew we had the tools, and it was just about staying focused and working hard every day to, be the best versions of ourselves. And we continue to talk about going 1-0 and just taking it one game at a time and just being our best selves. And that led us to this moment. And so I love this team so much.
And Lauren?
Yeah, I think it's just buying into the process. We have everybody you could possibly want on a team, and you were so skilled at every single position. But I think, the maturity to come in and, sacrifice yourself and your ego and be able to put that aside for moments like these, it makes it so worth it. Because at the end of the day, no one's going to really care how much you average this season. When you have a freaking ring around your finger, no one cares.
We're going to stay to our right. You can raise your hand in the corner. Yep. We'll get the microphone to you.
Mike Regalado, Bruin 24/7. Congratulations on your championship, players and coach. 2 quick questions. Lauren, what happened with your throat early on, and are you okay? And secondly, and secondly, Coach talks about this team being uncommon. Well, this was an uncommon blowout in a national championship game. When did you feel that you locked it up?
To answer your question, I'm fine. Now I am. I feel fine. Yeah, no, it's just dry out here, man. Oh, no. Yeah, what was the second question about? How do we know we were going to win? I feel like I felt it in our prep. I felt like yesterday I knew that we were going to win just because we were so focused. And, when you have a certain energy in practice and you wake up the next morning, you're like, we have done everything you could possibly do to be ready for a game. It's just the confidence that you have. And I feel like our energy was just really good. And as soon as we came out the first couple minutes and everyone was just locking in on what they needed to do and winning their one-on-one matches and rebounding, that was crucial. So, yeah, I could tell from the very beginning.
We'll go right here in the front.
Dimitri Dorlis, the Mighty Bruin. This question's for Kiki and Gabriella. I asked Coach Close yesterday what you two have meant to the program, having been 4-year players with this. And now my question for you, after this game, after getting a national championship, what does this mean to you to spend all 4 years with this program and end with a championship ring?
We'll start with Kiki.
Yeah, this is really so special. There's no better way that we could hope to end our career. We played the last possible minutes of basketball that you could play in the season. We are the only team that's ending their season, with a win. And so just to be grateful for all the moments we shared together. And over these 4 years, I just remember us coming in as freshmen and being in Corey's office and having this conversation of this is where we want to get to. We want to win national championships. We want to play in Final Fours, and to know that we gave it our all. And, this is where we ended up. And it's really rewarding because this is a special group of people, and I'm just so grateful for all the moments.
And Gabriella?
Yeah, Kiki said it really well. Just coming in, being freshmen, that was the plan to, cut down nets. And I think we talked about it a lot. And the fact that we got to win a national championship, wow, our senior year, it really does mean everything. And I said it before, but I pictured this moment many times, being a national champion. And so to do it with this group, it just really means everything.
And Lauren?
I don't think it was the question.
Oh, it was just for the two? My apologies. We'll take our next question, Joe.
Question for Gab, Joe Pachowski, the Mighty Bruin. Gabs, your brother is here today. He had a great career at UCLA, played in numerous Final Fours. How big is it for you and your family now to have those bragging rights over him having won a national championship when he didn't?
Yeah, thankfully my whole family was here, both my parents, both my brothers, a lot of aunts and uncles, cousins. I just really appreciate all their support being here. And, I'm really thankful that my older brother Jaime made the flight over here to support not only me, but this whole team. He's really passionate about UCLA and our team. He has a lot of confidence in us and always was supporting us. So I know it just meant a lot to him as well. But not only him, but my whole entire family. Senior night was really emotional for all of us because they've been all going to Pauley Pavilion for so many years, and to finish out my career here at UCLA with a national championship really does mean everything.
We're staying to our left.
Ben Bolch with the California Post. This was a dominant performance from the opening tip. Did any of you see any of the predictions of this game? I mean, most of the prognosticators were saying South Carolina, including everyone from ESPN, all picked South Carolina. I was wondering if any of you saw that and if that drove you.
Yeah. I did, but I don't care. I mean, I'm pretty sure people had us losing. I mean, like, you know what? I don't even care. We just won a championship, so you know what? I don't really have much to say about that, but yeah.
Our next will go Andrea, Annie, then Steve. Andrea, if you could raise your hand, we'll get the microphone to you.
Andrea Adelson, ESPN. Hello. Wow. How random is it that I get the next question? Huh. Lauren, this question's for you. I saw you go into the stands. You were emotional talking to some of your former teammates and obviously your family. Just when you went up there and wanted to see everyone, just kind of what was going through your mind as you saw all the great support that y'all had?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's so many people who have helped me get here today, and my teammates, coaches, family, and like my sophomore year here to have Izzy Anstey and Cameron Brown, who are really crucial parts of my life and my process, and how much I've grown as a person. We were all there. They were crying more than I was, just because they've seen me since my sophomore year, and to see me grow up and just mature has been really special for them, and they mean so much to me, and I just wanted to celebrate all with them.
Annie, then Steve.
Annie Costable, Front Office Sports. Gabriella, the other day you were talking about how you wouldn't want to play anywhere else. Your 4 years at UCLA have meant so much to you. Can you describe the satisfaction of committing to a program that long in an era when there is so much, transition and movement? And I mean, Kiki, you can speak to this as well. And I mean, Lauren, you were there 3 years, so you can speak to it as well. But just the satisfaction that comes with committing to a place and seeing it all the way through.
Yeah, I mean, super satisfied, with this result. And the journey was even better. But I think coming in my freshman year, my dream was to be at UCLA, and so just to have an offer from UCLA, it brought tears to my eyes when Coach Corey offered me, and so to now be playing there, and then Kiki coming in, and all, we had a big freshman group, but I think we were all just really determined, the core group, to do something UCLA has not done before in the NCAA era, and that was just really important for us, and we always believed, and I think that just Coach Corey started us with that, just always believing in us, and again, I keep saying it, but I'm just super, super proud of this whole group, everyone in the program for always believing, and, job's finished. Job is finished.
Steve?
Steve Futterman from NPR and CBC. I wanted to ask the three of you, looking back, how much did last year at the venue, at the Final Four, how much did that help you?
We'll start with Kiki.
Yeah, I do think that experience playing at the Final Four last year helped us just in our preparation from the spring to now. We knew what to expect. We knew what it would take to win at that level. And having that experience, I feel like we were able to set our minds coming in to this tournament, coming into the Final Four of, like, this is what it's going to take to win it. This time, this is what it's going to take to play really high-level basketball and be really focused. And just our ability to do that, regardless of the circumstances, I think speaks to the maturity of this group and the mindset that we were willing to take on.
And Gabriella?
Yeah, we talked about it a lot about last year. I think that just really helped us. Kiki said it, we just knew what it takes. We knew what to expect. And then just coming in this year, just being super confident in ourselves. We were better prepared. We knew what to expect. And, yeah.
And Lauren?
Yeah, I remember, being asked in an interview, I just never wanted to feel that way ever again. And I feel like, ever since then, we've really just, like Kiki said, grown in our preparation. And I feel like everyone understood the moment, and I never had to question that, we weren't going to go out there and be ready. You can tell in everyone's faces how bad we wanted it. And, when duty calls, everyone answered. So I'm just really proud of this group.
We're going to go to the front.
Logan Stanley, Arizona Republic. Gabriella, this question's for you. I found your brother after the game, and I asked him, do you have bragging rights? He said, yes, you do. So how do you respond to that? And also, how do you describe his impact on you overall as an athlete?
Yeah, of course I have bragging rights. I'm a champion now. So, yeah, I think just really appreciate his support. I think the impact he had on me is just, really inspiring. I think just growing up watching him compete all the time. I guess we kind of play similarly, but that just comes from watching him, always supporting him. I always would go to his games because I just love watching basketball and I love watching him and supporting him. So yeah, I just really appreciate his support.
Next we'll go Jeff Lindsay. Well, we'll start with Lindsay and then go back to Jeff.
Sorry, Jeff. Lindsay Gibbs with CBS Sports. For all of you, your college journey has included the boom of this NIL era and revenue share. How have you all navigated that, and what support have you gotten from UCLA during it? Corey has talked a lot about really embracing this as a program, and so I wondered how it was for you all.
I think we've been fortunate to experience a lot of changes over the 4 years that we've been here and been in college. So just the support and the willingness to be able to recognize that playing college basketball now is like a job. It's not just something you show up to for fun. This is a job. We take it seriously. You get paid to do it. So just being ready to take on that mindset of you're a working young woman, and even if we're only 18, 19 years old, it's true. We just have to have that mindset, have the mentality, and the coaches and entire staff here do a great job of just preparing us to really take on that mindset and to be smart businesswoman.
And Gabriella?
Yeah, I think Kiki said it great. I think that all three of us just coming in to college basketball just to want to play college basketball, and then throughout the years there's NIL, and then you get paid. And so I just think we just stayed true to who we are. It's not about that for us. It's about the love of basketball, the love we have for each other to get out there and compete.
Take our last question for the student athletes. It'll be on our right-hand side.
Hi, everybody. Congratulations on the win. Lauren Rees for Seton Hall Sports and Hoops HQ. Question for Lauren. This year, you've been so vocal and honestly so bright, in my opinion, about your mental health journey, and you've overcome so much within your 4 years of collegiate play. What within yourself do you think has grown the most, and what have you overcome the most within your mental health journey? What are you the most proud of within what you have overcome personally?
I would say, I can't thank this program enough, firstly, for how much they believed in me. And when I came in my sophomore year, I was completely different than I am today. And I showed up and I had zero confidence. And, I wasn't sure if I wanted to really play basketball for that much longer. And Coach Corey really stayed patient with me, and she wanted to, see me accomplish everything that I'd ever dreamed of. And they just continue to remind me, they want me to see myself the way they all see me. And I feel like now at this point I can finally truly do that. And I think that's what I'm most proud of. It hasn't been an easy journey, but the way that these people have truly just, embraced me for everything that I bring and continue to love me. I love UCLA so much, and I love these girls.
I want to thank you for your time tonight, ladies, and congratulations again.
Thank you.
Watch your shoelace, Kiki.
All right, we'll open it up for questions for Coach. We're going to start with Doug. We'll go Doug, Meg, Alia. I see you, Rachel. I see you, Jonathan.
Hey, Coach.
Hi,
Doug
Doug.
Farnbury, AP. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Two-part question. There's been so much written about your relationship with Coach Wooden in the past. If you could talk to him today, what do you think that conversation would be like? And second part is, how much will this help you and your staff, since you only have, 12 hours till the portal opens up, and you got to find a whole new team for next year, so to speak?
I did say to my mom, well, the transfer portal just got easier. I think that, I don't know what, I think that Coach Wooden actually wouldn't care as much about the championship as he would about staying true to our process. And that I hope I would make him proud by realizing and recognizing that this is a byproduct of what's happened in their habits, in their love for each other, in committing to a process over a long period of time. When you just look at how the pyramid of success is built and the foundations, I just think he would be way more interested in hearing about that journey than he would about the final product, because he knows that's a byproduct of what was happening on the inside.
Go to the front row, Meg. If you could raise your hand high, we'll get the microphone to you.
Hey, Corey, it's Meg Hall with USA Today. I interviewed you earlier this year, and one of the things that you told me that sticks out in my mind was you felt like you failed as a leader after last year's Final Four. So I wanted to ask you, now that you've had time to come through this final year and get to this point now, how do you evaluate yourself as a leader now?
Well, I hope I'm a leader that chose to grow, and if one of our core values is going to be a growth mindset, it has to start with me. And, when you guys were asking the questions of them about what they learned from last year, being able to turn the pain of regret into the pain of discipline, and to then see the chosen pain of discipline pay off in having championship habits today, that's really rewarding. But I just think that's the best part, right? When you ask Lauren about what she's most proud of, it's about what she was able to overcome. And even for me as a leader, I think I'm most proud of the ways in which I had truth tellers around me that told me the hard things, and that, I had a humble heart to go, okay, I received that, and these are the changes I have to be responsible to make.
Go to the front.
Hey, Coach, congrats on winning the national championship. It's Aya Abdeen for the 9450. So you, Gabriella, Lauren, and their teammates wrote the pages to this championship season through hard work, a strong bond, and an underlying belief in each other. What will stand out to you about this year, about the journey to get here in Phoenix and win it all for this group of seniors as well?
It's just so rare in life, right, that you can start a journey with a group of people and really envision something, and then trying to reverse engineer a plan that will actually lead you to the point that we're experiencing right now, and that it actually happens, and that you're in that position that you had planned for. And so it's just really with great humility that I was like, man, we are just so fortunate to be experiencing that, and they earned every bit of it. I think that one of the things that we've been doing for the last about 30 days, every single day we've been starting out film with these I will statements. And they have to write 5 to 7 of them every time. And sometimes we will add some gratitude statements too. But there are all these things. And then the last 3 or 4 days at the end of our prep time, we've been having each person, and they can choose anyone. There's like 21 of them, and they came up with them about things that were going to be important. And they all had to recite one out loud. And when I think back even on the games of this Final Four, I just think about how many of those I wills they actually lived out. And so that's just so rewarding to see something that, you really planned for, you really sacrificed for. And I really, one of the things that they said is every player had to sacrifice. If any of our 6 seniors were on any other team, I believe they would have been an All-American, first team. And to say that that's not as important to me than experiencing this together. Wow, how lucky am I to be a part of young women that would make that hard, right choice.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. Next up, we have Rachel, then Maddie, then Howard.
Congratulations, Coach. Rachel Bachman at the Wall Street Journal. I want to take you back to those 1990s meetings with Coach Wooden. What are a few things that he said to you or interactions that you had back then, and how do you think those influenced how you coached even this season?
It's really hard to narrow them down because they were so rich. I've taken a lot of people with me to meet him, and I try to always warn them that, you need to write down questions because the wisdom is going to be so great you end up speechless. And, the reality is you leave his presence and you just go, I hope I can remember everything, every nugget that he, first of all, lived and role modeled, and then secondly, taught. And, I think that I remember he passed away the year before I got this job. And I remember thinking to myself, oh my gosh, I don't want to let him down. And the biggest way I can pay it forward is to live in a way and coach in a way and teach in a way that pays it forward what he did for me. And I think the biggest thing he did is every time I would ask him, like, well, what would you do here? He would never answer. He would always make me realize that I'm wired uniquely and that it wasn't about what he would do. It's about how am I wired to lead to my best. And I remember feeling this sense of freedom going into my press conference because and Nan, his daughter, was, right there front row. And his son, Jim, has been so supportive of us all year long. And his great-granddaughter, Corey, which I owe her everything because otherwise, if I hadn't spelled it like her, he would never have let me in the door. But I really do think about, like, if I'm going to make him proud for how he poured into me, it's going to be about keeping it about the process and truly loving kids well for things that are way beyond UCLA. And that's where we get to teach, mentor, and equip for life beyond UCLA. And I couldn't be more grateful for the time he gave me.
Maddie?
Hi, Maddie Kenny with the New York Post. In sports, we talk about, like, delayed gratification. It took you 15 years to finally get to the mountaintop. It took Wooden 16 years. I guess now that you finally have reached this moment and can silence any criticism that you might have fielded over those years about not being able to hack it in these big moments, how satisfying is it?
I really never listen to those things. I care that my players feel that we show up for them. I care that the families of our players feel like we lived out what we told them when we recruited them. I care about having consistency with our mission. And, this really is a byproduct, and it really is only meaningful because of the people I get to share it with. And I wondered how it would feel. I really did expect us to win today. I've thought about it several times. I'm like, we're going to win. And I felt very peaceful all day. And it wasn't about whether we got the W or not. I wanted us to be able to play our best when our best was needed. And we delivered on that. But it just is so much for me, not about a national championship. It's the validation that it could be done differently.
Howard?
Howard Megdal, the 9 Sports. Corey, congratulations.
Thank you, Howard.
2, if I could. The first, just on Gianna Neepkins and what she was able to do for this team. Obviously, a plus 41. I wonder if you can take me through how meaningful it is for you to have her succeed when she's someone who works as hard as she does, and just knowing she went through heartbreak in this NCAA tournament, and then I'll have a second one after that.
She, Gianna is just a spectacular competitor. And I knew, and one of the things I thought we could really give her is that she's always had to be the most hardworking player, and she's always had to do it alone. And I think that I told her, I said, when you come here, you will get buoyed by the comradeship of everybody does that here. That's the baseline expectation here. And she was like, really? That could happen? And I knew she was a competitor. I knew she would work her tail off. But I didn't know she was as funny as she is. I didn't know that she was going to fit in so seamlessly off the court. It has just been so rewarding. I also have to give a shout out to her coach at Utah, Coach Rob. And she's a really good friend of mine. We FaceTimed her together right before we went in the locker room. And, I just think that she prepared her really well, and we are really lucky to have the byproduct of that.
From about 10 years ago, we had a conversation where you said you had the pyramid of success in your office. You had only the bottom rungs lit.
Good memory.
And you talked about the fact that you look at those 10 banners every single time you go out to practice. What's the status of how many are lit on the pyramid of success, and what does it mean to know you're going to hang a banner right there?
Yeah, it is this humbling thing. Before every game, we walk down, because of where our bench is in Pauley Pavilion, we walk down that hallway, and I literally touch each one, and I just imagine that, someday the byproduct could be us hanging one, and that is incredibly rewarding. I think that the pyramid of success, there's a reason it's been so timeless. There's a reason that I think I saw an article a couple years ago by Forbes magazine that it's still the most widely used business motivational tool. And I think that because character never goes out of style. And I think that all of us in life, sports, and whatever, as we grow in our character and we grow in our consistency, good things happen. And I just think it's all lit now, and it's just we are believing in it in its entirety, but it will always be about the foundation first.
We'll stay to our left, Coach.
Coach, I spotted Carol Walters outside of in the arena after you all won. Congratulations! And
Thank you.
She said that she wishes that she got some of that deal money of NIL back then in 1995, and you were an assistant on UCLA back then.
Yeah.
So, can you tell what the difference it was back then for the players, or even some of the coaches like yourself back then, compared to now, what you dealt with?
Well, I think, it was interesting. Ed O'Bannon really started that movement. And, and I had a chance. I was at UCLA when they won the national championship in '95 and just being a part of amazing people. We have some young men in this room that are part of that group. And, Ryan Hollins I happened to see today, who was one of the beginning people. But I think that, what I love is that it is a different era now. And what they said is that, yes, they're thankful to be able to benefit from that, but it can't overtake our love of the game or our love of each other. And I do think it's night and day different deal. We're a professional organization now. We're building front offices. We have roster construction. I have GMs. I mean, it's a different landscape. But I was totally formed. I was in the building in Seattle when they won that, and I used to stay. I used to stay after work and just sit up in the rafters and watch that team practice. And it's hard for me to even articulate how that formed me at the very beginning of their career. Those are my first 2 years of coaching, and to be in this position now, I really go back to that. But it's interesting. When I got to UCLA as a head coach, I wrote 6 UCLA men's alum, and I wrote 6 UCLA women's alum through the decades and asked them, what do you wish UCLA did for you that they didn't? And what advice would you give me? And one of the first ones was financial literacy. The second one is providing more resources for mental health. And the third one, mental health. Was access to the UCLA Alumni Network with more intentionality. And I have tried to be methodical about that, because it doesn't do any good if we give them this money, we help if they're pros, and we don't give them the equipping to actually be able to maximize those for real opportunities that change lives. And I go back to those letters and those responses of how we've built our infrastructure even now.
Chantel?
Hey, Corey, Chantel Jennings with The Athletic. You've talked about the sacrifices you've made in your own life personally to get to this point, and I'm curious, now that you're at this point, that you've done this and won it with this group, does it change the way at all that you think about those sacrifices?
No, I think I've always thought that sacrifices are worth it, otherwise I wouldn't keep doing them, but they literally are my family, I don't have a family of my own, and so I really do think of them like children. What would their parents want from me as sort of their basketball mama, and what is it amazing thing to be able to share this with a staff. Not only do I respect my staff so much, but I love them deeply, and I just they really are in some ways, have become a second family for me. And so, I feel very purposeful about the sacrifices I've made on a personal level for what I believe is trying to live imperfectly, but trying to live out my calling. But I wouldn't trade it.
Sean?
Hi, Coach. Congratulations. Sean Hurd with Anscape. You mentioned your coaching staff. Obviously, so many players came before this moment. One of the people on your staff is Michaela. What was it like to kind of share that moment with her?
Yeah.
She already said that Jordan Canada had texted her, about the moment. Just wondering your thoughts.
Yeah, we were teasing her in the locker room, and she was really emotional. And Coach Tony goes, "About time we just had to get some better players," and we were just giving her a hard time. But there's been these really special moments. it was right when starting lineups were about to be announced, and I was standing next to Michaela, and she just put her arm around me, and she's just like, I'm just so happy to be a part of this. And she was so emotional after the game, and her mom Edith and her high school guidance counselor Miss Dotson was here, and all these things. And I just there's just been a connection piece with her, and it's really, I can't even put words to it. It's just like she sort of gets it. And even this morning, as we did our walkthrough and I got the whole circle together, and I just talked about the strength of the bond and how 3 strands woven together, they just can't be broken. And that, and just valuing every person in the circle, from managers to video interns to everybody else. And right after that, Michaela just came right to me and just like held on to me. And, to share that with a former player, she's just really special. And so I didn't know what it was going to be like. I didn't know that she was going to be such a dang good coach. She's really good. And she's probably got a long pro career that she's going to live out first. But this was even better experiencing this with her than I thought.
With that, Coach, we are at time, so we want to thank you for your time this evening.
If I wasn't so long-winded, more people would add questions. But thank you guys so much. Appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you.
Before you walk away, I want to give you the link for everybody. Okay.